Hello everyone, Geneva Watch Days is back. My name is Rishabh and I'm a watch geek at Ethos, and I'm here with...
I'm Ranvijay, I'm the head of content at Ethos, and we're here to talk about the new novelties being launched at Geneva Watch Days 2023.
Okay, Ranvijay, since I know that one of your favorite brands is H. Moser and Company, I'd like you to say something about what they've recently launched.
Yes, so this year they're out with the new Endeavour Vanta Black with a center seconds option and a tourbillon version as well. And what's new this time is that the Endeavour Vanta Black comes with indexes on the center seconds, which is, I think, the most exciting part about this watch, because it really brings the classical aesthetic back to dress watches. They've done it before in steel, but they haven't done it in red gold until now, and it just makes the Vanta Black editions from H. Moser very timeless, much more than the previous versions, I think.
One of the things that I really liked about it is that they kind of balanced the formal look of the watch with a kudu leather strap, which was, I think, an alligator leather strap in the steel version.
Yes, that's correct. The kudu leather definitely adds a little more charm, a little more character. The texture adds visual appeal from a textural point of view. It's like you said, the contrast of the plain stark black dial, Vanta black dial. It really goes well with the kudu leather strap.
Okay, the first time I saw a tourbillon on a Vanta black dial was the Streamliner, and I just couldn't stop thinking of how it would look on a classical wristwatch. And this doesn't disappoint at all.
Yes, it definitely doesn't. In fact, it's more at home in a classical watch than it was in the Streamliner. Not that that wasn't a brilliant timepiece. It had its own charm and everything. But yes, it's a very welcome addition to the Endeavour collection, and it's a good step. It's a good step for the brand.
Now, Ranvijay, if you recall, this is not the first time Vanta Black meets gold in a dress watch. You remember the Vanta Black Ventura?
Yes, I do. It was one of the earlier Vanta Black watches that they did, and since it was concept, it had a completely plain dial, which was more neo classical than it was traditional classical dress, and that's what's different about this watch, which definitely elevates the collection. Okay, and speaking about innovative brands, I'd like to bring up one of your favorites. I believe you've been fond of Laurent Ferrier for a very long time. And what are your thoughts on the new Sport Auto 40 that they're launching this time at Geneva Watch Days?
Got that absolutely right. I am a big fan of Laurent Ferrier. There are multiple reasons for that. The
Right.
story, the watches, the hand finishes, they're just daring to the core. And the man is just phenomenal. They have some of the most innovative timepieces in their collection. For example, the watch that they just launched at Geneva Watch Days, the Série Atelier Sport Auto 40. It looks amazing and it has so much history and story behind it. For example, the dial colors are inspired by the Porsche 935 Turbo that both the founders were racing in at the Le Mans in 1979, and they won the third place, right behind, guess who?
Who was it?
Paul Newman.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I didn't know about this.
Exactly. And the car was numbered 40. That's why if you look at the sub-dial at 6 o'clock, the small seconds, if you look at it closely, it says 40 right there. And the watch is, of course, limited to 40 numbers.
Oh yes, but you have to really look closely. It's as subtle as the brand gets. I think they do everything with a hint of subtlety, giving all their timepieces such a classy appeal. And I think apart from the 40 on the subdial, there are all these nuanced textural elements. For example, the detailing on the date window and all of that, and bringing this new green color to life. It's called Viridian Green, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
believe so. And it has an orange superluminova index.
Oh yes, that must be really like lighting up in the dark. So
Absolutely. Also, when you turn the watch around, it's such a piece of beauty. The platinum micro rotor, the finishing on the bridges, it is just so fascinating. I could wear the watch upside down.
yes, as is the case with a lot of watches, but this is definitely a case back that stands out, especially with all the beveling on the edges of the bridges and plates. And yeah, like you said, the micro rotor. And to think that the micro rotor gives it a 72-hour power reserve is quite impressive. And it's not a small amount of power to store in a watch.
Absolutely. Talking about impressive timepieces, how about the UR100V Stardust?
Oh, it's quite a shiny thing, isn't it? Like we've seen the UR100 in various forms, the satellite display and everything, which has become such a trademark for work. And what stands out, of course, is the diamonds. They've put 400 diamonds on this one, and I don't recall seeing a gem set or work which has really like captured my attention in recent times, especially with the white and blue combination. It just brings the stones to life. It's quite impressive.
And the diamonds are not just on the case, they're on the clasp as well. VVS quality diamonds, so they're not compromised there for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned the clasp. Even the crown, I believe, has diamonds, and that's quite impressive. The gem setting that goes into these intricate parts and the small components is what really shows the watchmakers and the jewelers' prowess in setting those stones.
Okay, this was just the first day. These were the first 3 brands that we covered, but there's a lot more exciting stuff coming from Geneva Watch Days.
Yes, and I'll be there on the ground coming to you live from Geneva. We already mentioned that this is one of the most exciting times in the year in the world of watches, and I'm very excited to be there in person and check out these watches on my wrist.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.